So you must always have your mind thinking forwardly. That's why the scripture saying what it's saying. Read it again, Captain.
Where there is no vision,
if you don't have the vision to think beyond where you are,
the people perish.
You will perish. You understand? So we must continue to move forward.
Can you elaborate on what you said? Because I hear what you're saying, and I think a lot of men go through what you're going through.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, man, I try to stay as compassionate and understanding the people and what people going through.
Right.
But I get tired. I get tired of dealing with it.
Like what? Can you give us just?
What you mean?
I don't want you to get personal, but just some kind of example.
I get tired of, just like you see, especially, I ain't knocking no young brothers, man, because some of them is trying to.
Right.
But the disrespect, they feel like they're entitled, like the world owe them something, man.
Okay.
Because they ain't learned yet. They ain't learned that.
Right.
Oh,
you come from the old school where
you think you've been knocked down. You ain't really been knocked all the way down yet. None of us.
Got you.
But we done took some lumps.
Right.
But
how does that make you feel? Like I'm hearing you like you want to retaliate sometimes.
Exactly, that's it.
Right.
There are times, man, when I just done had enough. So I made a comment. I give it to them like they give it to me. You know what I mean? And
right. So now, you ever heard that term, turn the other cheek?
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
I don't know if I can do it.
No, I mean, but just can you explain what it means?
Well,
and who it applies to? That's really what I want to know.
The weaker guy ain't the attacker.
Huh?
The strong guy is the one that turns his cheek.
Right. But for who?
What you mean?
Is that just a general saying to anybody to turn the cheek? Like, let's just say a white man come up and he does the same thing to you that a black man does. Does that saying apply to anyone?
Anyone, everyone.
Okay, all right. That's what I wanted to get the understanding. Now,
you can't go out. You can't be out here, man. It's a hard thing when you know you've been wrong.
Right.
Okay, so you try to be strong.
Right.
And turn the other cheek.
Right.
Man, if you feel like you want to do that,
that's why I'm asking you that. Yeah. That's why I'm asking you that. That's
I know about strength.
Okay.
Right, but the thing is, like I say, you get tired, man.
No, I get you. We're gonna explain that. Okay. That's why I wanted you to explain it, because what you're saying is not something you just go through.
No.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, before you get anything, get 1 Corinthians 10:13. Now, this is why we bring you see, we have visuals out here, right, for our people, because I understand that you get tired. And I'm gonna bring a couple of scriptures just to begin to show you that that's biblical, right? And then I want to show you this about who we are and why all this ties in together. Okay? All right.
I'm gonna listen to you because you making sense.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians 10:13. There have no temptation taken you but such as is common to man.
Read that again.
There have no temptation taken you but such as is common to man.
So now, if I came up and just stepped on your shoes and didn't say excuse me, you might be tempted to react because I don't even have the decency to say excuse me, right? So listen to this again.
There have no temptation taken you but such as is common to man.
You know how many of us have something that another one of our brothers will do that'll piss us off, and that we gotta restrain ourselves from getting physical? That's why I started off with that, because I heard that in your spirit when you was talking about, you want to do right, but people be pulling that evil up out of you. Right? So do I have the right thought about what you're saying then?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why we read that. There's no temptation that's taking you that's not common to men. Many of us go through that. You know, I'm gonna go back to when I said if I stepped on your foot. Now, if you just got off of work and the white man just been on your ass all day, you'll have a certain level of stress, and if that stress is still fresh on you, and then I step on your foot, you might haul off and do something without thinking about it. You understand what I'm saying? That makes sense to you? That's why we read that in 1 Corinthians. There's no temptation that's not common to men, you know, that you deal with something that everybody else don't deal with. But there's a way we got to learn how to handle it, all right? Now, I'm going to show you something. First, we bring these visuals out. We got to show our people who they are, all right? And get the understanding of why these things happen to us, why we feel the way we feel. Does that make sense so far? Because every man on the earth is not going through the same thing we are.
Right.
And we're going to prove that, all right, biblically. We're going to prove that. And not only do we have to prove it biblically, we know it to be true.
Right.
We know it to be true, right? Did this happen to us? Absolutely. So we're going to show it in the Bible. Read Deuteronomy 28:15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statute, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So the Bible is telling us that we will have to listen to the voice of God, which is found here, because God don't actually speak to us. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And not in a manner that we, like, you ever heard your pastor say that God gave him a word and he told him this, that, and the third, and right? Okay. So the scriptures tell us that God will speak to us once, maybe twice, but he speaks to us in visions and dreams, things of that nature, all right? God ain't say, Kenny, I need to talk to you for a minute. It don't happen like that. But that's what we've been led to believe. Okay? All right. So, read that again, 15.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So now that's why we ask you to believe the Bible. Because if we will not listen, right? Go ahead.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
Now it says to observe, to do. Do is an action word, right? Like, if you want to check at the end of the week, you can't just go to the job and just stand there. He's going to give you some work to do, and he expected to be performed, right? Go ahead.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
You see how our people are? Well, I'm talking about. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. This is how glorious and merciful God is. He will bring props. That's what we call, like in the movie where they'll put little things for you to see. He'll bring examples right when we teaching it. You understand? Read on.
Curse shall thy be in the city.
So now, in the city, right? Let's use us here in Orlando. Black people the only people in the city? Nah, you got all kind of nations in the city, right? But listen to what God said.
Curse shall thy be in the city, and curse shall thy be in the field.
So he said one of the curses for you not listening and applying what I'm giving you as a nation. Now, this is as a nation of people. But now you break it down, it happens to us as individuals, right? But one of the curses is you will be cursed in the city. You have all types of people that live in the city. But one place that's known for black people is called what? What is one place called that's known for black people? The hood or the ghetto, right? Now listen what God said. Read it again.
Curse shall thy be in the city.
So he's saying out of all the people in the city, you gonna be cursed.
Right. That's right. Bring it out.
Because you know when you going, you know when you driving into the hood. Right. You know when you go from a good neighborhood into the hood. Like we just had Martin Luther King Day, right? Now, Martin Luther King Day, why is it that Martin Luther King Day or Martin Luther King Boulevard, that's what I want to say, I always run through the hood and it's one of the worst places.
Bring it out.
It's a trick.
Okay, all right. I agree with you, right? But is that not true, though?
What?
It's always one of the worst places in the hood, right?
They want people to think, right? I might be wrong for what I'm thinking.
But isn't that like a disgrace?
Yeah.
Now they tell us.
Hold on, let me stop you for 1 minute. Martin Luther King Day. I'm listening to the radio, man, right? And it's wonderful that they didn't give this man a holiday because he deserved it. Him and a bunch of more people. But the little celebrations that they doing, come on, man. If you really wanted to get it,
It's a disgrace.
It's a disgrace.
Yes, we agree.
Right.
Because you know what? We go out and we teach our people on Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah.
And you know what you see? A whole bunch of young girls twerking.
Right. Bull crap.
Right?
Yeah,
and you got a whole bunch of men out there looking for them.
Man, it's terrible, man. It's
Right.
terrible, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
No, we agree.
Yeah,
We agree. If you need to, you step on the here, bro.
I'm all right.
We agree. We agree. All right, read that again. 16.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
And cursed shall we be in the field. That's why we bring these visuals, right? Because this is our people. This is us coming off of the slave ships, right? This is us being sold on the oxen blocks, right? We've been sold by the Arabs, the Caucasians,
Right.
and the Africans.
Bring it out.
Now, the reason I have to bring that out is because when you look over here, do you see yourself on this sign, your nationality? You have American blacks, West Indian blacks or Jamaicans, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, Panamanians, Guatemalans. These are all the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
Okay, so when we see this, this happened to the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
We have what you call the Southern Kingdom. All right, the darker skinned of us, meaning the American blacks, Judah, the Haitians or tribe of Levi, because you don't read Haitian, you don't read black, right? And Jamaicans, you don't read Jamaicans. They're of the tribe of Benjamin.
Right.
Okay,
That's right.
that's the southern, when we read Southern Kingdom of Israel. Okay, but the same things happened to the so-called Hispanics.
That's right.
All right,
That's right.
Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, Panamanians, all right, Brazilians.
Right.
The same thing. It happened to them first when Christopher Columbus came.
Right.
Okay, and the conquistadors. So they went through it first, and then we were brought over here by the British and the Dutch and the English, right? So when we read that again, verse 16.
Cursed shall thy be in the city, and cursed shall thy be in the field.
God makes a distinction between all the people on the earth. Okay? So I wanted to bring that out because when you going through the things that you're going through, best believe everybody ain't going through that.
That's right.
We go through this.
Right.
All of us experience the same thing. So we can relate. You understand what I'm saying? So now, let's jump down to verse 28.
Verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
You ever seen black people just walk around talking to themselves and just like they out their damn minds?
Bring it out.
Right?
I've done it myself.
Okay. Now, think about this. Think about this. You have some of our brothers like that have served in the military. They come back. They don't get sufficient help for what the trauma.
What they've done. What they've seen.
Right. But yet they serve the country, right?
Yeah.
And you see them in situations like this. You see some of our people that have college degrees, right? But they've fallen on hard times. And then they end up homeless, and some of them end up on psych meds or just lose their mind, right? Some of it comes from depression, right? So these are things that our people, above all the other, I'm not saying no other people experience that, but above all the other people, these are things that we deal with. Read that again.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
Who did that to us? Who the Bible say did that to us? The Lord. Now remember, he said if you wouldn't listen and do these commandments that I'm giving you, these curses will come upon us. So far we read, cursed we be in the city and in the fields. Now we're reading about our minds, how God was stricken us with madness. Another term for madness is just silly or stupid behavior.
That's right.
Okay? Madness isn't just crazy, but madness is, we go around, like, for instance, these young men. They got this thing that was made in the pants. It's called a loop to put a belt in.
Right.
But yet they'll go around with a belt on their pants and it's still right above their knees, showing their whole ass.
Bring it out.
Why would they do that? I'm going to show you why. Read that again.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
And they so simple. Give me 2 Samuel 10:4. They so simple, they don't even understand they should be ashamed.
Right.
You know, in our generation, I'm sure you around the same age I am. You know, in our generation, man, your neighbor, it'll be a man in the community that come and slap your side of the head. Little young blood, what you doing?
Bring it out.
You embarrassing all of us.
I try to tell these boys this now. You know what I mean? About, okay, you want respect. Respect yourself.
Right. Absolutely. They haven't learned that.
You don't need a million tattoos. You don't need no.
They haven't learned that.
You don't need none of that.
So
your mama ain't getting to you is what you telling me. Your mama won't good enough.
So our generation gotta teach them that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, check this out.
This is the book of 2 Samuel 10:4. Wherefore Henan took David's servants and shaved off half of their beards and cut their garments in the middle, even to their buttocks.
So this was a sign of shame. You go to war and a man dominates you or beats you in war, right? And then he cuts your garments. We had garments down to the foot. We can read that Christ wore that. We wore that, right? But will cut your garment so that your backside's showing. Right? Read.
And sent them away. When they told it to David, he said to meet them, because the men were greatly ashamed.
The men were what?
Greatly ashamed.
So it used to be a shame to show your ass.
Right.
Now these brothers do it willingly. They think it's a style. They think they got swag or drip or whatever words they use now for the foolishness. Right? Now I'm going to show you, keep Deuteronomy, drop that, give me Isaiah 3:12. Now I'm going to show you one of the reasons for that. Because now what we've seen a shift. Like when you go back to like the 60s, a lot of us still had two parent households, right? Before welfare, basically. Right now, you see a lot of black women running the house, correct? So now some of the foolishness you didn't see in our generation as young men, you see today, right? All right, let's read that.
This is the book of Isaiah 3:12. As for my people, children are their oppressor, and women rule over them.
You see that? Children oppress us through gangs and gang violence, right? Women rule over us. Now remember, he said, as for my people. So God ain't talking about everybody. That's why we went to that 1 Corinthians. I'm going to keep taking you back there. There's damn, you know I'm bad at quoting. Get that again. There's no temptation that's not common unto man that's overtaking you, right? 1 Corinthians 10:13. I'm terrible at quoting. I always got to go straight to the Bible. But the point is that the things we suffer because we broke God's commandments. That's what I'm trying to show you. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of the times, the mental state that we in is because God put these depression and anger and things like that on us because we wouldn't be obedient to him. All right, let's read that again.
1 Corinthians 10:13.
Bring it out.
There have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
But such as is common to men. So he's not talking about all men, because let's go back to Isaiah 3:12. Because when he says my people, you got to understand, my people. And see, what's happening is the reason we come out here is because our people have been under the guise of Christianity and believing God is dealing with all people. You understand? And now we're coming out because now we can read. Now we're getting understanding. And we're saying, wait a minute, God was never always talking about all people. That's why all people ain't suffering the same things. Right. Read that again.
This is the book of Isaiah 3:12. As for my people, children are their oppressor, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee.
Now that's these women that are ruling over us. They which lead thee. They which leads thee cause thee to error and destroy the way of thy path. And destroy the way of our path. So now we done gone astray. Because you don't have that steady influence, which is that man in the house. Right. You understand? That now, have you seen that in your generations? You've seen that. So now what we're showing you is the Bible is a true book. You understand? The things that have happened to us, God prophesied, or he sent that prophecy to Moses to tell us that, you know what, when you're going to look in the future and see yourselves, this is how you're going to identify who you really are. Right. We're not Africans.
Right.
That's what we've been told. That's a lie.
That's right.
Okay? We are Israelites.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's why we have to bring out, because we can all identify with what we see. Right. But we think, but we African.
That's right.
You understand? Now, let's jump down to verse 32. Deuteronomy 28:32. Tell me if you can relate to this happening to your people. Deuteronomy 28:32.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 28:32. Bring it out. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given into another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longings for them all the day long.
So were our sons and daughters given unto another people? When did that happen? Slavery, right? How about now? Does it still happen? It still happens. Yeah, it still happens. You all right, bro? You all right? No, I mean, yeah. The prison system is one of the ways, right? School to prison pipeline, right? And we fill the prison houses. What if I showed you that God sent that message to his prophet Isaiah to give to us, that this would be another identifying factor? All right? Yeah, Isaiah 42:22. We're going to show you. So all the problems that we suffer and the solutions are actually in the Bible. But we've never been taught the Bible right. Some of us, like myself, there was a period of time I didn't believe in the Bible. I was in Islam or trying to be a Rasta. Now you see, my head is bald right here. How would I look being a Rasta today? You understand what I'm saying? All right, let's read that.
This is the book of Isaiah 42:22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
We've been robbed of our nationality, our heritage, knowing who we are, even the knowledge of our God. We've been robbed. We're not in our homeland. Can we agree on that? We've been robbed and spoiled. Spoiled means we get good for nothing. Because when you lose knowledge of yourself, what are you good for?
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.